Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third and final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next week, 10 days for today's third and final video. So day 10 is going to take us to around the 13th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We'll extend GFS and ECM ensembles and maybe around a couple of weeks. I'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. So that takes us pretty much to the end of August. I shall get on with that for you in a second. Just say that the first video release day was our 7 AM forecast. We've also released the EC 30-day forecast for UK and for the rest of Europe as well. So check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Please like, share, subscribe on all of the videos. Thank you so much, everybody. And yeah, we are on the grind to 12k subscribers. We've got to put on around number 45 now to get ourselves to 11.7k. So kind of like the next mini target, 11.7k, and then the overall target at the moment is 12k. So when we get to 12k, we are going to be giving away a prize. So thank you so much to all of you for the support. So we'll either give away a bit of GavsWeatherVids merch or an Amazon voucher or something, but there will be a giveaway when we get to 12k, and more about that when we're a little bit closer to it. But yeah, if you can give us a sub and tell your friends and family, everybody else who subscribe, that'd be absolutely great. It would be nice to get to 11.7k as soon as we can. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday as well. Right, let's start with webcam then. We'll have a look at some data. So we're going to start off a little bit shorter bit, so we're going to start off with the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Let's go for it. So we're at Leeds today, so red line 30 upper air temperature average for Leeds. We're starting off close to or below average at the moment. Dates on bottom of the chart, by the way. And for the next sort of week or so, we're going to keep those upper air temperatures around or maybe a little bit below average. In the more extended range, around the middle part of August, in the second half of the month, we do have a bit of a warm-up appearing. Again, it's still there, that warm-up. There's a lot of scatter within that, though. So we've got these warm on some members up here, we've got cooler on some members down there. And the further out we go, the greater the scatter becomes, if you see what I mean. So I think we are going to get a warm-up for a while next week, particularly so down in the south. I think it'll be particularly evident the more southern areas, but next week does turn warmer. Not necessarily hot, but it will turn warmer, I think, down in the south. How far we take that, you know, how long that lasts, whether it's more than just 2 or 3 days and then it cools down again, and, you know, the extent of it, I think, is very much up in the air, if you pardon the pun. And I think Scotland, probably Northern Ireland too, will struggle to ever sort of settle down and warm up next week. I'm going to show you the generic charts in a moment, and you'll see what's going on. Precipitation-wise, going to be a lot of rain to come as well over the next sort of week or so. There is a bit of a drying trend, though, as we go through the second week of August and then on into the second half of the month. Yes, we do have a bit of a drying trend then. But before that, but not completely dry, there is precipitation spikes in there. You'll notice this rather alarming large precipitation spike here, but that, of course, is an outlier. But I think it will warm up and turn a little bit drier for a while next week. But again, how far we take that remains to be seen. Before then, relatively cool and unsettled. Temperature anomalies from the 3rd to the 11th of August going to be a bit below average, especially so for England and Wales, probably near normal for Scotland and Ireland. Precipitation anomalies average to maybe a little bit wetter than average for more northern and western areas. The latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows we've got quite a lot of low pressure in the Atlantic Ocean, and that low pressure will be heading towards us later on this week. Talking of which, let's go through the generic charts then. So we're going to have a look at the UK Met at the weather outlook first of all. Right, put webcam back on for this part of the video. So here we go then on Friday. We've got low pressure right over top of the country. Going to be cool and unsettled with that area of low pressure bringing showers or longer spells of rain. That low pressure will still be with us through the weekend as well, gradually easing away to the northeast, but keeping us cool and settled through the weekend. It'll be early next week, but we might start to get a bit of a ridge building from the Azores, from the southwest, and certainly for southern areas. I think early part of next week promises something a little bit drier and warm. There is still quite a bit of low pressure in the Atlantic, though, and that will carry on affecting parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland, I think, through the early to middle part of next week. So it never settles down in the north next week, but down in the south it probably does turn a little bit drier and warmer for a few days. How long that goes on for does remain to be seen, though. This is how the GFS midnight run was looking. So again, low pressure over top of the country on Friday. It'll bring showers, long spells, rain, and that carries on into the weekend as well. Unsettled and quite cool and showering over the weekend. Into the early part of next week, again, in comes this ridge from the southwest, just starting to build up and quiet things down a little bit, especially so the more southern areas, but never really getting up to Scotland and Northern Ireland. So here, the next weather system's moving in by Wednesday, bringing showery bursts of rain. However, for the south, it does settle down, and by the end of next week, all areas go under an area or a ridge of high pressure, actually. So the midnight GFS run up to day 10 does turn things drier and warmer. Not for all that long the extended range, though. That high pressure then starts to pull back out to our west, and low pressure begins to dig back in from the north again by the 15th of August. We're back to cool, showery conditions once more, into cool northerly winds by the 16th of August. And then just generally quite cool and showery right way to the end of the GFS midnight run, which today gets us to the 19th of August. Still looking pretty cool and showery event. So a few days of drier, warm weather, particularly for the south next week, and then back in something a little bit cooler and more unsettled by mid-August and the third week of the month. In South 6 days, looking at this very latest, so again, low pressure bringing very unsettled weather at the end of the week. That low pressure sticks around the country through the weekend as well, gradually easing northwards and allowing this ridge to begin to build from the southwest. So southern areas turn a little bit drier and warmer from the early part of next week. Northern areas keep it quite cool and unsettled. Into the middle and second half of next week, again, a bit of a north-south split, Scotland and Northern Ireland, with influence from low pressure, looking a little bit cool and unsettled. England and Wales probably looking relatively dry and potentially quite warm. By day 10, we're beginning to find that ridge slipping southwards again, so possibly starting to turn a bit more unsettled even in the south, and in the more extended range, sort of northwesterly winds coming and going, so southern and western areas always getting the driest, warmest weather. Northern, northeast areas always a little bit more unsettled until the very end of GFS 6 then, when we finally start to build up a proper area of high pressure. That's the 19th of August, so it is a very long way out. If you enjoyed this video, please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. This is how the GM is looking. So, again, we're under low pressure on Friday. That brings showers and longer spells of rain, and that carries on into the weekend as well. Still unsettled with the GM into the early part of next week. We do try and build up that ridge from the Azores, but it's struggling to get going, and actually even in the south probably a little bit showering through to the middle part of next week. Northern areas close to this area of low pressure looking unsettled, and by day 10 we're basically in a rather showery and not overly warm scenario. The GM never really settles things down beyond perhaps a couple of drier days in the far south. Through the early part of next week, the GM never really settles down into up to day 10, which of course is the 13th of August, Friday the 13th of August. ECM looks like that. So again, low pressure is in control of the weather on Friday, and that carries on into the weekend as well. Be a relatively cool and showery weekend. Early next week, in comes this ridge across England and Wales, starting to turn things a little bit drier and warmer there. Scotland and Northern Ireland struggling to settle down, really. And then through to the second half of next week, low pressure just comes in off the Atlantic, very much in line with what the GM is showing, actually. So we've got the GFS midnight and 6 there, looking a little bit more settled around day 10, drier and warmer. And then we've got the GM and also the ECM looking rather unsettled around day 10. So this is a complicated pattern we've got here. Potentially we might go into something drier and warmer for a while, and I think that's particularly so for more southern areas, but how long it lasts, I think, really is, very uncertain at the moment. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. So, of course, got low pressure coming in later this week. That's going to bring quite a bit of rain with it, and we keep it unsettled, cool, showering into the weekend as well. Early next week, we will start to turn things a little bit drier for a day or two in the south, but northern and western areas are rather unsettled, and then more wet weather is coming in from the west as we move up towards day 10, and that's particularly affecting, again, northern and western areas where it does look quite unsettled. Right, let's have a look at the upper side of the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. That will get us to the 13th of August from the Icelandic Met Office. We have 14 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to our north, high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic. We send the jet stream on a northwest-southeast alignment. It's looking cool and showery with that one. 10, we'll have low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, that's going to be rather westerly and rather showery. 9 will have high pressure right over top of the country, mainly dry and pretty warm with that. 8 with low pressure to our north, high pressure to the south, so that's rather westerly. Driest, warmest weather is in the south with that. Most unsettled, coolest weather is in the north. 5 with quite deep low pressure to the northwest of Scotland, but also quite a strong ridge to our east. That could pull up hot winds from the south, but might be volatile, and then, thundery. And then 5 with low pressure right over top of the country and bringing in westerly winds. That does include the operational run, but only 5 doing that. So that very unsettled end to the ECM operation run, probably not all that well supported by the ECM ensembles, I should say. However, you'll notice that, like, this is quite unsettled option just here, the 14 there, and this one also, the 10 just here, probably quite unsettled too, and in some degree these 8 here are quite unsettled as well. So it's all to do with the, the strength of this trough of low pressure. It's a complicated pattern. We may finish up very unsettled at day 10. Equally, I wouldn't rule out, finishing up under a big area of high pressure, though. It's one of those that really could go either way. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This will get us to the 18th of August. So 18 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our west and also to our east, probably bringing in a bit of an easterly, and there could be some lower pressure down here. And then we've got 17 with low pressure just to our west-southwest. High pressure is to our north. Obviously, that's the most unsettled option. And then we've got 16 with high pressure over and slightly to our south. And we bring in the winds from the west-southwesterly direction with that. That's probably the driest and warmest of the options. That's probably the driest of the options. The 18 here, probably the warmest of the options due to this ridge just there and weak pressure down here, which could be a bit thundering and bring up wind from the south. We could get ourselves into high pressure and warmer weather into the middle and second half of August, but it all remains to be seen, really, and it is very, very uncertain what's going on, I have to say. Right, CFS V2 finally, these are 500 millibar heights, break it down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 3rd to the 9th of August. Coming week will be unsettled with low pressure in control of weather, so cool and at times quite wet. Week 2 is the 10th to the 16th of August. Now, this is when, we've got all of the uncertainty in the short-range model output with like GFS trying to build up high pressure, the GM and the ECM operationals, anyway, looking more unsettled. CFS is siding with the ECM and GM operationals for week 2, in that it still has this area of low pressure hanging around. So, still unsettled, probably quite cool, and at times wet into the second week of the forecast period, and it's the second week of August, which I suppose it is in a way. High pressure is blocking to our north as well, so I've got some northern blocking involved in that too. So next couple of weeks unsettled with the CFS V2. Week 3 is the 17th to the 23rd of August. No real sign of settled weather here either. High pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, still blocking around Svalbard. And this white area, I would have thought, is probably filling up with some sort of trough in the 500 millibar flow, and the jet stream could be doing something a little bit like that. So that may still be relatively unsettled, actually. Week 4 is the 24th to the 30th of August. High pressure then does get closer to us. Low pressure up towards Greenland Iceland. That's probably the driest week, and the warmest week as well, maybe, with high pressure building from the west. But again, that high pressure is sort of centered to our west, so we would probably still bring around the edge of that high pressure winds from a northwesterly direction. So it wouldn't be a heat wave, but it probably does turn a little bit drier and warmer there in week 4, the last week of August. But again, that's 4 weeks away, so I mean that's very much in the very extended range, isn't it? So we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But I don't think, like, the short range model output has got next week sorted out yet. So we wait to see where this is all going to go. Right, if you enjoyed the video, then please can you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And as I say, we need to put on around 45 subscribers, I think, now to get to 11.7k, our next mini target. So not many to go at all. and then we'll push on to 12k, of course. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the support. Right, I'm just going to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. So, we're going to have a 7 a.m. forecast, of course, tomorrow. USA forecast is tomorrow as well, or on Wednesday. We'll see what's going on with the hot weather in the States. And also have a 10 to 14 day, of course. I think we'll have to do the GavsWeatherVids August forecast tomorrow also. And I'm going to try and get, like, an events forecasting again for Wilderness as well. So it could be 5 video uploads tomorrow. I really will be pushing it, I think, tomorrow to get all that locked done. But we shall see how we get on. But for today's videos, that's all for now. You enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. That's all for now. And thanks for watching.